What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix series The Umbrella Academy Season 4 aka Final Season. Let's rock this. Wow. I'm sad to inform you that The Umbrella Academy Season 4 is a steaming pile of horror shit, and that's coming from a guy who was a fan of the first couple of seasons. But this finale is just downright awful. It's like a combination of running out of ideas and throwing things against the wall hoping some of them would stick, which is the worst way you could possibly do to end a story. Look, I know we all want every show out there to have their fair share of conclusion, but I'm telling you, Season 4 is so bad, I kinda wish Netflix had cut the show short a long time ago. Okay, since the review embargo lifts on the same exact night as Season 4 premiere, there's no need to beat around the bush anymore. One of the things that cracks me up, and not in a good way, is the fact that Season 4 is where they're like, okay, let's finally get to telling the story about the Asian guy. Wow, are they not merciful? How mighty generous of you. You waited till now for the Asian guy to finally have his turn. And on top of that, Ben still does not come out looking like the hero here, which is the most insulting part about all this. His arc with his love interest is just one giant, pointless, meaningless, nasty-looking gobbledygook. They did him dirty. The writers basically just threw Ben under the bus, and Season 4 is a stinking mess. And I'm just getting started with my rage, so stick around. Based on the Dark Horse comic book series by Gerard Way and Gabriel Ba, created for television and showrun by Steve Blackman, in Season 4, the Hargreeves siblings have scattered after the climactic showdown at the Hotel Oblivion led to a complete reset of their timeline. Stripped of their powers, each is left to fend for themselves and find a new normal with wildly varying degrees of success. Yet the trappings of their uncanny new world proved too hard to ignore for very long. Their father Reginald, alive and well, has stepped out of the shadows and into the public eye, overseeing a powerful and nefarious business empire. A mysterious association known as the Keepers holds clandestine meetings believing the reality they're living in is a lie and a great reckoning is coming. As these strange new forces conspire around them, the Umbrella Academy must come together one last time and risk upsetting the shaky peace they've all endured so much to secure, to finally set things right. Starring Elliot Page, Tom Hopper, David Castaneda, Amy Raver-Lampman, Robert Sheehan, Aidan Gallagher, Justin H. Min, Ritu Arya, Colm Fiore, Nick Offerman, Megan Mullally, and David Cross. If you ask me, the only upside about this final season are the duo villains played by Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally, who also happen to be a real-life couple. Their characters are an absolute hoot. Sinister, manipulative, bloodthirsty bad guys funnily named Gene and Jean, who don't think twice about getting rid of anybody who get in the way of their master plan. It's just too bad that, just like everything else on this final season, their characters also eventually get the short end of the stick in terms of substance and quality. And just as I implied earlier, it's as if the writers don't know what to do with these guys anymore. Diego has been reduced to a bored family man stuck in a mundane fight against CIA with Luther, whose comic relief comments have lost their charm. At one point, it seems promising when the siblings are together on a road trip in that hippie van, joining forces. But then for some reason, the writers find the need to separate them again, and many of them serve no purpose whatsoever, especially Klaus. I'm like, where the hell are they going with him? I'm a big fan of Robert Sheehan, but he looks like he's just going with the flow in a redundant, impactless subplot. If ever there was a show that's clearly run out of juice, it's The Umbrella Academy. Ben's love interest, Jen, is supposedly the key in the overarching arc, but even that feels like something that's cooked up at the last minute. I've never read the comic books, but if this is how it went down in those pages, I guess I dodge a bullet for never having read them. Jen is quite possibly the most forgettable additional character, which is a shame because this could have been a project that catapults that actress into stardom, but sadly, it doesn't do that for her. Reginald and Victor have their own mismatched journey, which stays close to what's going on in terms of chasing down the source of the upcoming end of the world, but that dynamic is cold and awkward and it fails to make me care about them. The same goes for Lila and Five, which is the weirdest pairing imaginable, and making them have feelings for each other is so forced and unnecessary. And actor Aidan Gallagher, who plays Five, he looks so disinterested. Like he checked out 2 seasons ago and is just desperately trying to get this over with. The revelation or the reveal about how Ben died back in the day, I admit, is a totally crazy twist. But the writers can't seem to capitalize on that. They're not able to build on that from that point forward. After the shootout scene involving the entire town attacking the Umbrella Academy, the story takes a disappointing nosedive and never recovers. And then the characters just run around aimlessly like a bunch of headless chickens. By that point, you're kind of hoping that they would do another Footloose dance, anything that would put you out of your misery. So yeah, overall I give The Umbrella Academy Season 4 the rating of 1 out of 5. Such an awful conclusion. Such a waste of our precious time. Such a depressing, unrewarding finale. It's sad to see a show that starts out so well ultimately crashes and burns like this.